Hi, I'm Emerson Doolittle, and this is my Tumblr book project. So what I chose to do is about equality in different countries and categories. What I mean by this is that other countries face a lot of equality differences from the U.S. The U.S. typically has more equality, but as I'll go through, you'll see that they're not always the best, and they still have restrictions. And then what I mean by categories is, say, sports, the workplace, stuff like that. I feel like women don't get an equal opportunity in in sports and in the workplace, so that is something I'm going to go over as well. So just a little bit to jump in about my theme. I think the biggest thing I've come across when learning about this class is how I think that around the world it really changes how women are because it shapes how they do things. And so I got a link right here for this Tumblr post I did earlier for the weekly Tumblrs. It kind of describes about how there are problems in sports and the workplace as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and scroll up to my next theme. So there's a lot of barriers to girls' education, and this is typically in different countries. A lot of women face certain barriers like money, even getting to school, and sometimes earlier marriages, allowing them to forego, say, college or maybe a high school education. And I got this from another student from the weekly Tumblr, and I thought it was a really good insight onto the 7 barriers that girls face. And it shows that at a young age they even have barriers, and they don't really receive fair education. And I think that ties really great into my theme, and as you can see, I'll have more as well. So this is a really controversial topic right now, and a big topic that everyone's talking about: the war in Ukraine and the crisis for women and girls. I got this from a student as well, and it was kind of talking about how women are getting raped and taken advantage of in hard times like the war and stuff. And I feel like when a war is happening and you're kind of losing your country, you also lose the rules, and it just causes pretty much a anything goes type of situation. And that's when the women aren't able to, fight back or, tell them no because there's no one to step in. I think that's very unfair and goes against why we should do something about equality in other countries. As I scroll up here, you can see that the pandemic, I have here a link for the pandemic and how gender equality in the household has really changed. Throughout the pandemic, I feel like the women have had to, clean, cook, stuff like that, like traditional things that aren't really so much traditional now, because we should get away from that. Women should be working as well and doing stuff like that, not only up to the husband. And I think that the pandemic, just because we had that and we were stuck in our house, it shouldn't only be the woman's job to do certain things like that. So that's kind of like a little rough summary about that and why that is the way it is. So then we go into the 9 key issues affecting girls and women around the world. This is just a couple issues. Like I said, it ties into the theme because it's around the world, and it just talks about how education is the biggest one that women lack or girls lack because of the inequality, and they think that girls don't need that because all they need to do is cook and clean, which is very wrong and neglects them from a college education. So I kind of just scrolled past a couple of these because what you can see here is a little chart about women and just like a couple facts. I thought the craziest fact from this is that 1 in 5 girls are married before 18, And I feel like that's not really something that they chose. It's more of a forced marriage. So they're living an unhappy life and they don't really have that choice. Like, and I don't really think that's very equal as well. And that 100 women are dying every day before birth due to like say like China. They don't really think girls are like that like they don't really value girls as much because they think that they can't continue their bloodline and stuff like that. So that also contributes to that 800, which is just crazy and very sad. And that's my rough theme about women and how they need equality around the world and different categories like the workplace and stuff like that. Thank you.